Marshall, first of all, give people a sense how many Nigerians are there in the United States. Look, I'm from Houston. There's a huge Nigerian population because of Texas Southern University. But give us a sense of how many Nigerians are here in the U.S.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Nigeria is one of the largest immigrant groups in the country. We also know that beyond the numbers of Nigerians who immigrated here, the vast majority of Africans in diaspora also have their ancestry from Nigeria. And also the White House recent report redefined the definition of African diaspora to encompass both African immigrants and also African Americans. So significantly, we're looking at the greater majority of the African diaspora.
So what impact will the recent changes by the Biden administration have on Nigerian immigrants?
So over 100 organizations, the exact number is 128 civil society, immigrant rights, humanitarian rights, human rights organization, recently wrote to the Biden administration to immediately designate Nigeria as TPS. While Nigerian American community is one of very successful community in the United States, they are a significant number. The last estimate around 60,000 Nigerians that are undocumented. The impact of this will make them not to be deported back to Nigeria. If they're currently in detention, immigration detention, they'll have the opportunity to be released. And if they are going through any form of immigration proceedings, removal from the country, that will be stopped because the Department of Homeland Security deemed Nigeria unsafe at this moment for people to get deported back into. Also, those who are currently here, we want to state that we recognize that immigrating to the United States is an opportunity. It's a privilege. We're not demanding this. We are asking for this. We are asking the Biden administration to issue our community this protection so it can save lives.
So the TPS program, how will this benefit Nigerians? And a lot of people also have to understand that Nigeria, because of oil, is one of the favorite nations by the United States.
Yes, Nigeria is a significant ally to the United States. And as this new administration redefines its engagement with the African continent, and Nigeria plays a significant role as one of the allies and partners and actors of Nigeria on the continent. So they're making significant financial investments into that country. We at the Nigerian Center and the coalition believes this is an opportunity to directly invest in Nigerians that are currently living in the United States. So the way this is going to benefit them ultimately is going to give those who are undocumented an opportunity not just to be protected, but also the opportunity to contribute, the opportunity to pay taxes, the opportunity to live as any other person living in the United States of America. And this is not an exclusive request for Nigeria. We know what happened in Ukraine. They were afforded TPS. We know Haiti was afforded TPS. Countries around the world has been afforded TPS. And for a decade long, there's the Boko Haram insurgency, there's terrorism in the country. It's on the rise in sophistication, it's on the rise in intensity. Again, this is an opportunity to save lives and offer the people opportunity to contribute by paying their taxes in the United States.
Let's have some questions from our panel. Renita, you're first.
Well, thank you for coming on and talking to us about what's going on in Nigeria. I'm seeing a lot of information around people contesting election results. Can you kind of crack open for us and explain a little more what is going on, what happened with the election, and how it is going with verifying the election results?
Well, the presidential election happened over the weekend, and there have been pockets of irregularities in some parts of the country. But to my understanding, I don't think it has risen to a point where you can conclusively say that the election is not successful or marked by violence. I think it's still in progress. The election results are still being counted. Ultimately, I think we're seeing a lot of surprises. I think for the very first time in this election, we saw the emergence of the third force. And really the voice of the people is being heard in such a way that has never been heard before. And a lot of surprises coming up in this particular election. So I would say I think it's going, for the most part, peaceful. The transition is in motion. I think we have a couple of days to completely see how the election completely pans out. Well, my goal here is TPS. I want to also say that in the past subsequent change of administration, I think about 4 administrations, for every administration that comes in, there's significant hope that the security issues of the country would completely turn around. But that has not been the case. So I want TPS to immediately go into effect. So to give them some time to demonstrate honest leadership on the security issues on the country while saving lives in the meantime.
Omakongo.
Thank you so much for the knowledge and information that you're providing. My question is regarding the redesign of the Naira and the problem that has caused economically as it relates to people not being able to get access to their money in parts of Nigeria. Do you feel like this could exacerbate the problem more and lead to an increase of more Nigerians having to flee the country and seeking TPS?
Absolutely, without a doubt. I believe the timing, there's nothing wrong in going into a cashless society. There's nothing wrong in redesigning your financial policy as a country, but timing is critical. That policy has been met with a lot of pushback, and we just believe the timing, particularly going into an election. We're talking about a season in the country where it is one of the most challenging chapters in the country history economically. And now there's this redesign initiative. I think the problem is even the scarcity of money in itself. I think this really intensified the situation of security of lives. Kidnappings has always been a challenge the country continues to deal with. And I think this time around with this redesign and also the shortage of cash in an elections period, frankly, I think it's a bad idea.
Julian?
Thank you for being with us, and thank you for bringing us up to date, especially on the election. I want to jump back and ask you, Nigeria has, well, many African countries, but Nigeria has frequently been painted in the media as unstable. You mentioned the kidnappings and other things. Is the root cause the way that independence happened with the enduring influence of the UK, or is there another reason why we continually see the instability in Nigeria?
So Nigerian country, as a country, we have always attempted to renegotiate and also re-examine the basis in which various independent ethnic groups form this independent new nation. And we have some legacies of colonialism from the United Kingdom that we still wrestle with. Obviously, that goes into the fabric and the foundations of the country. Even our political system is one of the challenges a lot of people think holds progress back, because the way the country system is designed right now, it concentrates powers to a certain part of the country. So I think the challenge of this new administration, which what I'm hoping for is system leadership, is really examine that system and make it more fair and easy for everyone to participate in our experience as a nation. So we're wrestling with external legacy issues, international issues, but hey, ultimately Nigerians have always been leaders. We have an unbreakable spirit. We have a tremendous potential. There's a lot of forecast about our country, a lot of even prognosticated that would not be existing at this particular time. We have defied all those odds. So Nigeria continued to really defy the odds. And this kind of expression of what it means to be an African, what it means to be a Nigerian, to be a Black person. So I think the challenges is not so much that we can overcome them. And I think we're in the motion of the process of doing so. If you look at our country, our diaspora communities around the country, around the world, even in this United States of America, we continue to excel. So I think that's going to be the challenge for this new incoming administration, to create that kind of playing field for the country in itself to rise to its true potential domestically, not just internationally. We strongly believe that is possible. What we are saying, while the country takes on that challenge of manifesting its true potential, let us save lives in the process. And those who are in the United States, let's also give them the opportunity to rise to their own potential by working work authorization, have this protection, not to be deported back at this particular time, and just contribute like any other Americans.
All right, then. Gbenga, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. If people want to reach out to help your organization, how do they do so?
Thank you so much. Our website is nigeriancenter.org. Follow us on social media and send us an email. If you go to our media page, you can read our press release regarding TPS. We ask that you call your congressman and representative, help them support our congressional campaign going on right now to designate Nigeria as TPS. Thank you very much for this opportunity.